The most recent issue of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers gave us some pretty huge stuff. There was some teenage drama things like who kissed who and he's dating her and so on and so forth, but when the issue really starts ramping up, we get some cool reveals, including Lord Zedd becoming a Dark Ranger. And oh boy is it cool. Let's get into it. So as I'm sure most of you know, Lord Zedd was introduced to Power Ranger fans back in 1994 when he made his appearance in the second series of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He had a terrifying and menacing design and voice, and was actually so scary that the network received multiple complaints. Complaints about him being too scary for kids' television. It sounds a bit silly now, but I truly remember him being terrifying. Anyway, upon his arrival, he announces himself as the Emperor of Evil and the true leader of the bad guys, showing Rita to be nothing more than a minion. Well, how things have changed in the current Boom Studios comics. So, to catch you up a little, Rita has had a pretty massive power-up, now going by Mistress Vile. She is in possession of the Zeo Crystal and has been empowered by Dark Spectre. She is arguably now the biggest threat the Rangers have ever faced. After this power-up, she attacked her former comrades, almost completely taking Zedd out. This left Zedd in a very bad state, forcing the Rangers to imprison him but also look after him, nursing him back to health basically so he can serve a punishment for his crimes. After he awakens, he is still kept in some kind of electrically charged protective cell, and early on in the issue, he has a conversation with Grace Sterling. He explains how there is no hope in defeating Mistress Vile, she is just too powerful. So Grace, who will win by any means necessary, as proven in previous stories, suggests that perhaps Zedd works with the Rangers to help bring her down. After all, he knows Rita well. He knows her strengths and her weaknesses, and the way she thinks. Zedd's response to this is to laugh in her face, stating that he has no interest in teamwork and his only goal is vengeance. She then mocks him by stating that he's pretty confident for a guy that was almost killed just a few days ago. But Zedd promises her that he has a plan, and when he has dealt with Rita, he will not forget about Grace. Grace then thanks him for Serpentera, promising to put it to good use. She then leaves him. We then don't get back to Zedd until a few pages later, and this is where it gets really, well, for lack of a better term, pretty badass. Zedd is talking with a security guard outside of his cell, who warns Zedd that if he tries anything through that cell, he will fry himself like an egg. Then he mocks him by asking him if he was awarded the title of Emperor of Evil, or if he just gave it to himself. Zedd, of course, does not take this well. Like, at all. He asks the guard if he really thinks the cell will protect him. The guard responds by reminding Zedd that he does not have his magical staff, and also the pain from touching the cell beams would just be too painful. And this is where it gets pretty gangster from the Emperor of Evil. He says,
"You think I feel pain? I have been flayed alive, human. I have experienced pain more severe than anything you can comprehend. This is nothing. I lived. I thrived. I wish I could say the same for you."
As he says this, he grabs the guard through the electrified beams and chokes him, then walks right through them. He then proceeds to take out an entire group of these guards single-handedly before Grace finds him. She asks him what it is he is holding, and he says it's a present. A gift originally intended as a special surprise for the Rangers, but refashioned now for a different purpose. He then says that he's sure there is a special term used when one of these is activated. Then he reveals his Zedd Morpher, and we get a full-page image of a morphed Zedd, stating it's morphin' time. Now, I have to be honest, I love this. I think on paper, if you had just told me that Boom Studios were giving Zedd the ability to morph, I probably would have cringed a little. But the execution was great, it looks fantastic, and it felt very dark. It felt very evil. It just felt very Lord Zedd, and I'm super excited for issue 107. The way his armor now looks more like a shield, similar in shape to Lord Draken. The mask, or I guess now the helmet, has become more streamlined and sleek. The white boots and gloves really work, and the blue stripes complement the full look perfectly. I am personally super pleased with the look. But the important question is, what do you guys think? Ranger Nation, have your say in the comments down below. Is this a good decision? Are you glad to have another Dark Ranger? Personally, not only am I loving having a new Dark Ranger, but I'm also loving the fact that they are pushing Lord Zedd again. I think he is easily the best proper Power Rangers villain ever, and sometimes he's kind of treated as a little bit of a joke. But Boom Studios are really bringing him back the way he should be. Sort of what they're currently doing with Rita as well. As always, if you're not into Power Rangers comics but you're a fan of the franchise, you should definitely give them a go. Their release is what brought me back to Power Rangers years ago, and I know it could do the same for many of you. They truly are fantastic. Anyway, let's discuss any thoughts and theories in the comments down below, and also let me know if you want to see more comic book content again. I haven't done too much of it over the past year because you guys just didn't seem to enjoy it as much as the stuff based on the show. But if you like this, then I can definitely get back to doing it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, my friends. I hope you have a great day. May the power protect you, and I will see you next time on the 6th Ranger.